Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate you showing up so that we can recognize Mike and his time that he's had in our community as a leader. As you can see, this is a 7-camera affair, so it's kind of a big deal today. So just work with us. If you can't see around the camera, then you need to get over onto this side or go up to the back. In January of 1983, Mike Yaniero joined the Sullivan County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office. He spent 11 years with the Sheriff's Department before he was finally ready to take the bold leap into the world of being a city police officer. In 1995, Mike was appointed the Deputy Chief of Police of the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department. During his time in Tennessee, Mike was a member of the Virginia State Police Med Flight Team, where he spent 20 years saving people's lives, living through the air. As some of you may know, Mike likes to tell stories. That's pretty much the whole point. Mike likes to tell stories. You may have heard those stories. Chief Tallman will have to carry the stories on. Some of the stories parallel Homer's The Odyssey. Mike can take us back through time, through his trials and tribulations of dealing with police on horseback. He can talk about riding on the back of 2-wheeled fire engines, through the air in the helicopter, and into the modern times where the Crown Victoria ruled the streets. In 2004, the City of Jacksonville recognized Mike's talents and brought him to Jacksonville to be our Chief of Police. 8 years later, Mike was promoted into the role of Director of Public Safety. This action wasn't something that simply happened. It was a calculated move by the city to bring our public safety operations to the highest level of performance. Mike has dedicated 40 years to public safety, with the last 20 serving the citizens of Jacksonville. He has been awarded the Dogwood Award, the Order of the Longleaf Pine Award, the FBI Director's Community Policing Award, and the CALEA Egon Bittner Award. Without further ado, and to get out of the way, it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce the 2012 Man of the Year, Mike Yaniero.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. I appreciate your support over the last several years. You know, it's an emotional time, so I'm going to read from some prepared marks. So it's been my pleasure and privilege to have been the Director of Public Safety and Police Chief for over 20 years. As I stand before you, I can't help reflect on the journey that has brought me to this moment. My career in public safety was more than a job, was a calling that I answered wholeheartedly, driven by a desire to make a tangible difference in the lives of others. I remember the day I took my oath, feeling a profound sense of duty and anticipation for the work that lay ahead. Over the years, I've served in various capacities, each with unique challenges and rewards. I've been a steward of the public trust, a policymaker, and an advocate for the voiceless. I've witnessed the power of community, the resilience of human spirit, and the impact of collective action. My journey has taken me from City Hall to national forums, always with the aim of serving the greater good. However, I would not be here with the help of many people in the community who have been so instrumental in making us successful at the Department of Public Safety. First, I would like to give praise to Jesus Christ and my spiritual family at St. Mildred's Church, Infant of Prague Church, Sandy Run Baptist Church. I see Grover and Reverend Churchwell here. Catalyst Church, the City Prayer Group, Trinity Methodist Men's Bible Study, all who have been praying for me and given me the strength to help me through these challenges. I'd like to thank my family. The love of my life, my wife Faye, has been a rock for me over the past 40 years that I have dedicated to this profession. I would not be the person today without the love and support. I'd like to thank my children, Rachel and Jacob. I know it's not been easy growing up with your dad as the police chief. My mother, father, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brothers, my sister-in-law, all who have supported me and taught me the value of public service. At times, this can be a most difficult job, but I've tried to always put the citizens and the members of the Jacksonville Police Department first, even at the expense of my family. I want to thank my One Place family, especially Dawn Rochelle and Anne Marie. I've had the privilege of being part of making children's lives better. Thank you for your passion and for restoring the innocence of children that have been victimized. Your commitment to our children will make Jacksonville a better place. I would like to thank the YMCA family, which has given me an opportunity to work from the ground up to improve the quality of life of children. I'd like to thank my criminal justice family, the judges, the courts, great folks like District Attorney Ernie Lee, who's here today, and Sheriff Chris Thomas, who have partnered to make Jacksonville a better place. I'd like to thank my Rotary family, who's been supportive in making this community a better place. People like Vanessa Irvin, who sat on my hiring board, John Kopka, Randolph Thomas, and Gerald Hirsch. Other members of family members that I'd like to recognize is the Crime Stoppers Board, like Joe Unessa, who also sat on my board. My fellow chiefs, I see Ken Jackson in the back. The North Carolina Chiefs Association. The Onslow County Schools, I see Dr. Collins here. Coastal Carolina Community College, I see President Heatherly here. The North Carolina Crime Commission. The Onslow Memorial Hospital staff, whom we've worked with to address mental health. My city family, both present and past councils, Mayor Sammy Phillips, Mayor George Jones, Mayor Jan Slagle, all who have helped mentor me. Jerry Bittner, Bob Warden, Cindy Edwards, Dr. Angela Washington, Logan Sosa, Brian Jackson, Fanny Coleman, who used to refer to me as one of her sons. Senator Lozara, who is always willing to help with all the challenges that public safety face. City manager is Ken Hagan, who hired me. Christoph Bauer, Dr. Richard Woodruff, and Joshua Way, who you heard from before. Our former city attorney, John Carter, who's here, who helped me mentor over the past 20 years. Glenn Hargett, who always provided a sympathetic ear when I needed it. All the department directors, some of them are here today, have partnered to make Jacksonville a good place to live. And the citizens of Jacksonville who supported me over the past 20 years. I'd like to thank my public safety family. Some of them are here today. Chief Tallman, Chief Phelps, Deputy Chiefs Ronnie Dorn, Ashley Weaver, Sean Hayes, and Amy Procopio. And some of the past deputy chiefs, like Paul Spring, David Shipp, Tim Alfitano, and Patrick Trader. It's been a privilege to lead such a dedicated public safety staff. Some may think it's fashionable to proclaim the age of heroes has passed. Well, if you're looking for heroes, look around the room at the firefighters, police officers, telecommunicators, crisis counselors, all the professional staff. These men and women shunned a life of comfort and ease and instead awoke every morning to don their badge and put their lives at risk for the rest of us. If you want to see some heroes, just look around the room. As a young child, I remember some conversations I had with my grandfather, who was a veteran of World War I. In 1907, he came from Italy and worked in the coal mines of West Virginia. By all accounts, it was a hard life. He lost many family members in the great coal mine explosion in the early 1900s. When World War II started, he and his brother Michael were sent back to Europe and fought with the Allied forces. He and his brother were captured, placed in a concentration camp, promptly escaped and returned to their units. His brother died on the ship coming back from pneumonia. My grandfather seldom mentioned the war, but when he did, he said, "My generation had to make sacrifices so that my generation would have a better life." My life has taught me that nothing is more important than community service. As I approach the end of my career, when it is all done and I'm once again well rested, I hope that we can all look back and realize that we did something worthwhile, that we helped our fellow man in some way. Remember, as James Doan said, no man is an island entire to himself. One of the greatest strengths is our ability to leverage our skills, connections, and our resources. As evil people can change the world in a moment, think of what good people can do in a lifetime. But service to a fellow man endures regardless of adversity and often precisely because of it. As I retire, I do so with a heart full of gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunities I've had to serve, for my family who has journeyed alongside of me, for the community that has entrusted me with their hopes and concerns. To those who will continue in public service, I leave with you this charge: serve with integrity, lead with compassion, and never lose sight of the people that you're sworn to serve. If I learned anything, we all better together. Retirement for me does not mean the end of my commitment of public service. It merely marks a transition into a new role. And I look forward to supporting causes close to my heart, like the child abuse, mental health, homeless, the opioid crisis, volunteering in the community, and perhaps enjoying a little bit more quiet time with my family and friends. The path of service is never truly completed, it simply evolves. As I prepare to close this chapter, I'm overwhelmed with a sense of fulfillment and anticipation for the future. My years of service have been an honor and a privilege, and as I step down with the knowledge that the work that we do does matter, that each of us can make a difference, and that the journey of service is one that's most rewarding path somebody can take. I hope that I made my grandfather proud, that the sacrifices we have made allowed the next generation to live a better life. I know that excellence is transferable, and I know that I will leave behind a team of leaders ready to continue serving Jacksonville at the highest level. Thank you for the opportunity to serve, for the memories, and for the journey that lies ahead.